Today we're going to be doing a battery replacement on a newer model PS4 controller. The battery that's in here is way past its end of life and needs to be swapped out. But rather than just get the typical stock battery from Sony, we're going to up the ante a little bit and pop an extended battery in this bad boy. Really prolong our gaming time. How do you know if you have a newer model PS4 controller? You want to check the model number on the back here. Model CUH-ZCT2U. These are the 2016 and forward PS4 controllers. And the battery that we're putting in has the connector that fits into the smaller socket that the newer models have on the board. This is kind of an Xbox PS4 hybrid. This is the controller that I normally game with on the PC these days, so I had to make the button pattern mimic that of the Xbox controller. Makes it easier for guys like me. The tools we're going to need for this are Phillips 000 screwdriver and a safe open pry tool. Actually, the pry tool is not exactly needed per se, but it does make it a lot easier to unseal this case when we get the screws out. So let's jump right in. And we'll quickly take the screws out here. There's only 4 in the back. Really easy to get out. And set your screws aside. Make sure to keep them together. And with our safe open pry tool, we're going to start right up here in the corner. Carefully get in the seam here and just very gently work our way around. And it doesn't take much usually to get these to start popping open. Once they do, just apply a little bit of pressure. Get it to separate. They won't all pop open this easily, by the way. So if you meet with a little more resistance, just be patient with it. Apply a little bit more pressure and just carefully work your way around it. Eventually it'll pop open for you. And basically with your pry tool, once again, just follow along the seam here, applying just a little bit of pressure. We'll pull this apart very gently here. There's one ribbon cable that's connected to the main board. To get this out of your way, just grab a hold of that thing and slightly pull. And you may want to take note that the pins on this ribbon cable are facing away from the battery when it comes time to put this back in. Helpful information to remember. And here's the battery. This is the one we're going to swap out. This is the stock battery, the Sony 1000 mAh, which at one point in time gave me pretty good battery life, but over time batteries degrade. I can barely get through one day, like one, let's say, I don't know, 3 or 4 hour gaming session now. So it's time to pull this thing out, and to do so, just want to get your fingers right here by this connector. You can use your fingers here to brace against the battery tray and just slightly pull out, and it should pop right out of there. And here's our new extended battery, and I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head at the moment that I'm doing the recording, so I'll put the name of it on the screen and down in the description. But this is the rating on the extended battery. It's more than twice the strength of the stock one. Let's do a side-by-side comparison here so we can get a look at these connectors. Connectors are the same. They're the same size. And you don't have to worry about reversing the polarity in this particular battery, as was the case in the old model PS4 controller. There's a popular battery that is a really good upgrade for that one, but polarities have to be reversed in order for it to work. But this one here, already good to go right out of the box. With our battery socket here, I'm going to go ahead and connect the new battery. And you don't have to worry about the connector here and how it's positioned. It only goes in one way. And you'll feel it slide into place there. Got a nice good connection. This battery should fit well enough into the existing tray that you don't have to worry about making any modifications to it, as again was the case in the old model PS4 controller, where the extended battery that most people use for that one, the battery tray kind of had to be broken a little bit, certain parts of it, for it to go in there. It won't be a perfect fit, obviously, because the form factor is a little bit different, but as long as you kind of feel it saddled in there pretty well, when you put the controller back together, it'll hold it in there nice and tight. With that, we'll go ahead and put the back casing on, and we'll reattach this ribbon cable, and remember, the pin's facing away from the battery. Carefully line this up and gently press it in. We've got a light popping on here, which is a great sign. Means that the battery's working. I must have accidentally hit the power button at some point here, and that's okay. And when you reach this point, you're ready to slide the case back on. Just remember this clear piece of plastic here. You want to slide this underneath this piece here in the top of the chassis. There's a little slot here right underneath that it goes into. So we'll carefully feed that through. Never mind the crack there on my piece of plastic. I honestly have no idea how that happened. I do not remember doing that, but apparently I did. Now once we have that, we can start to go ahead and apply a little bit of pressure. Close the controller back up. I'm going to go ahead and press and hold the power button until the controller shuts off. Right, and all we have left to do is to put the screws back in. And we're done. Now, I accidentally popped my controller on during the process of this. We've already seen the light, but when you reach this point, you'll want to go ahead and connect your charger here and just make sure that you're getting power. If you are, you're good to go. Let it charge all the way up, and it will probably take quite a while since it's a heavy-duty battery. Once it's fully charged, give it a whirl. Enjoy the new battery life. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helps you out. Happy gaming, and we'll see you next time. So a little post update for you guys. This is about 2 weeks after the video that you just saw. A couple of things to point out here. When I put the charging cable in for the first time, I did get a charging light. It went out after a couple of seconds, and at first I was like, that don't seem right. Turns out the battery was already fully charged right out of the box, which I found to be a little unusual. I don't know if that's something that's standard with these things or if I just got lucky or what, but I went ahead and tried the controller anyway, and my goodness, I got something like 5 or 6 days out of this thing before I had to charge it up again. And I'd say I've averaged on a regular gaming night something like 3 to 5 hours, depending. So coming from the stock battery, which was completely deteriorated by then, this thing is an absolute slam dunk. It's been tested and proven. So big thumbs up from me. If you try this thing out, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Thanks for watching.